Hi, my name is Michael Anderson. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Etail Solutions. I thought we'd have kind of an informal discussion here today about something that's been a little bit of a hot topic lately, and that is inventory control across multiple channels. Now, typically when somebody comes to us, they've tried some of the other multi-channel solutions out there, the channel advisors and the monsoons of the world, and they've kind of grown to a point where they've experienced a certain amount of success. They're doing 100 or more, 1,000 plus orders a day, but they've really kind of reached this glass ceiling where they can't grow until they have a more robust platform in place. And when they come to us, oftentimes what you see in front of you is the scenario that we see, and that is, we all know that Amazon, for example, allows you to have multiple listings. They call them ASINs for a particular product. They don't try to do that, but the reality is there's oftentimes many listings for a particular SKU or stock keeping unit. And a lot of systems will require that you kind of have a one-to-one relationship between an ASIN and a SKU in your system where you're managing inventory. And so if there's multiple ASINs on Amazon, you'll end up with multiple SKUs in your system that you've got to maintain inventory for. But they will allow sort of multiple listings across different channels. So you might be able to have a listing on Amazon, a listing on eBay, and a listing on a website tied back to a single SKU. But the problem in this scenario is because you've got these 5 different listings, you've got to kind of combine all of those in order to be able to determine what's going on with your inventory. And if you sell one on eBay, for example, now you've got to update these other 4 listings on Amazon in order to be able to sell accurately anyway. So what a lot of people end up doing is they end up foregoing the opportunity that's presented by the multiple ASINs and just dealing with a single SKU. We look at it a little bit differently. Our world looks a little bit more like this. Now, I could drag other sales channels on here, but I thought I'd kind of keep it simple for the example. And in the scenario with Amazon, where you've got these multiple ASINs, we tie these back to what we call is a channel record. And a channel record is it's a many to one relationship actually between the SKU and the channel record. So you would have one stock keeping unit and you would have many listings across one or more marketplaces and or sales channels, including you could have multiple instances of a sales channel. So if you've got multiple Amazon accounts or if you're dealing with Amazon UK or Canada or what have you, you can have as many channel records as you want, and every channel record holds its own set of information. So it's competitively repriced on its own because every ASIN, for example, has its own set of competitors. All the attributes, all of the publishing rules, everything about that channel record is independent, but it's tied back to the single SKU. So the single SKU is what you would maintain your inventory by, make your purchasing decisions by, and so forth. So that's what it looks like on the sales side. Oftentimes as well, we get pulled in to do supply chain automation and catalog automation. And in many scenarios, we've got catalog overlap between multiple suppliers. And so there again, it's important to have these mappings back to a single SKU so that you can make intelligent purchasing decisions based upon availability, based upon price, based upon geographic location. All of those things are possibilities on our platform, but none of it would be possible if we didn't tie it back to a single SKU. Of course, the SKU in our platform tied back to the financial system is a one-to-one relationship. And then we also offer an integration with Merchant Advantage, which then is going to allow you to be able to push your feeds out to many different CSE engines. They've got over 200 plus CSE sites that they can push data to, as well as managing your Google AdWords campaigns and your Google PLAs, which is shown to be really, really a profitable venture so far for the people that are using it. So again, we kind of focus on tying everything back to a single SKU. That allows you to do a lot of different things as a result. So you can maintain that accurate inventory across all sales channels. When something sells on one sales channel, it's then going to be published according to your allocation rules. It'll be published back out to every other listing that's out there. You can publish a percent of that inventory. You can set mins and maxes so that you can actually have listings kind of come down in a tiered fashion as you get less and less inventory available. You can competitively reprice by individual listing, as I mentioned, with Amazon. You can maintain price parity, so we can competitively reprice on Amazon and turn around and honor that price on every other sales channel, so you honor Amazon's rules. You can make automated purchasing decisions as long as everything ties back to that same SKU. mapping of attributes and descriptions across channels so you can leverage that content every place that you sell. That's another thing that is easily done, again, if you've got that base SKU. Fully automated hands-off drop shipping. Again, something that we can certainly handle. And then replenishment, whether you're using reorder points or sales levels or selling trends to make those purchasing decisions, all of that becomes possible once you tie back to a single SKU. So the next thing I'd like to show you is kind of how we actually do that. Now, in this particular environment, I'm going to start by giving you a little bit of a peek on our back-end system. Now, this is a snapshot of our administrative console. It's not something that most people are usually using, but I wanted to drive this point home about how all of these mappings are so incredibly important. I've got a list of different SKUs here on the left-hand side, and I've just selected this hydrocortisone lotion for pets, actually. And here we can see that there's actually 3 Amazon listings. There's a supplier listing here, another supplier listing here. This is the item SKU within the ERP. This is another supplier. This is a website, and this is another supplier. All of these individual listings are tied back to this master SKU, if you will. And then we've got all sorts of different data about that. So if we look at the data that's held with Pet Supplies Now, the website, for example, you've got all these different attributes, pricing, publishing flags, and so forth. All of that data is maintained by our platform. Again, this isn't usually the interface we would show to people, but I really wanted to drive that point home of single SKU. Now, to look at what that looks like in the user interface, I just thought I'd pull up this same item. So here we're seeing that there's actually 3 ASINs. And actually, if I go back to the status, there's 3 ASINs that this is matched to, and then there's the website listing as well. We can see right here is the availability from one of these suppliers that's giving us a feed. Here's the main warehouse. They're not actually stocking this particular item. And they've got a allocation rule that says, the supplier says they have 40, we're only going to publish 50% of that. So they're only actually publishing 20 on this particular listing. If I go back and look at the costing tab, I can see here's all my suppliers, here's their pricing for this particular product. And then we control every single one of these columns, if you will, represents an individual channel record. If I go and look at this a little bit of a different way, I can see here's my channel records, and here's the status information, the attribute information, and the pricing, including all of the competitive repricing stuff, is on an individual channel record basis. When I flip this back again, I can see all of the statuses side by side. I can see the attributes side by side. So you can see they're obviously storing a lot more data here for the website than they are on the individual Amazon listings. And then as well, to drive the point home on the pricing in the system, on the 3 different Amazon listings, we're competitively repricing and coming up with different prices. And in 2 of these scenarios, we've got different competitors that we're competing against. And so the price is published as a different price, and we're able to get that buy box. Again, because every single listing has its own set of unique competitors. So why not reprice and take advantage of that individually? So again, this is just kind of a very high level overview of how we manage inventory here with our system. We could at a later point in time go into all sorts of different purchasing controls and so forth, but the inventory is managed by one single SKU within the system, and that's what gives us the power to be able to do everything that we do. I hope this was helpful for you. If you've got any questions or would like to talk about what we could do for you, we'd love to chat with you. Feel free to give us a call at any point in time using the number on our website, or just email us at contact@etailsolutions.com. I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks.